Okay, I'm just truing up this front wheel on the Bantam D1. I thought it might be a better idea to actually do it in the forks because it's got to be central in the forks. So I've got a bit of masking tape across here with a line on it so that I could get the centre of the rim lined up with the frame, so if you put a straight edge against it and squint with one eye, that's dead on in the middle, and it's the same here. Pretty much, it's a gnat's whisker that way slightly, but I trued this up yesterday, and I thought, well, I would leave it and have another look, just to see. Sometimes it's a good idea to, if you do something, like leave it overnight so you can have a look at it the next day and see if it. Yeah, it's a gnat's wicks. Difficult to tell if it's like, I don't know, maybe a millimetre or something, I don't know. So if I try to it's still, I mean, I got it within about a couple of millimetres, which is pretty good. I know, I remember somebody saying you can never get it exact. If you get it within 3 millimetres, you're doing quite well. So it's within like a couple of millimetres. I'm just trying to get it. Make sure I centre, maybe wants to go that way. I know there's what's quite good, if you put your thumbnail against it, you can feel it as well as. So it's a bit. What confuses the issue is you won't be able to see it, but here there's a weld. Obviously, there's a strip that's welded together like that, and you don't really see if it makes any difference until you actually spin it, and then you can actually see it does make a bit of a wobble, which does confuse the issue when you're trying to sort of get the rim absolutely parallel. Anyway, it seems to be a bit, that's what I mean, you see. So I've got about a millimetre gap there, and then it's touching my thumbnail there. So there, it's a wee bit, go that way, maybe a wee bit. I'm using a spoke spanner. Right, so what we need to do is we need to slacken off the opposite side first, which is this side. So if we go back to here, bit on that. Bit on that. And then do up the other side, sort of the same amount. Alright, what's that done? I mean, it's a millimetre. I mean, it really is. It seems to be more. There's a wee bit of a gap there. So, that slightly. And I've already tightened these up pretty much as they would be finally. Now that wobble there, that's this weld, which is, as I say, you think it's all wobbly, but it's not. It's just that weld. That is yeah, that's the, it feels like it's rubbing. Well, it is, it's rubbing, but it's rubbing my thumbnail, but it's not. It's the weld bit. The rest of it is pretty good. Now the other thing is, how's it going for up and down? I did have a bit of bother with this, so if you squint, I've got there's me bit of wood on the floor. If I can shut one eye and try and line it up. It's very difficult to. No, I don't think it is. I thought it might be wobbling up and down a wee bit, but I don't think it is. It was a bit, but it's not now. Oh, it's a tiny amount. And one eye shut, I'm just looking down. No, I can't see any wobble at all now. I must have managed to take it all out. Anyway, I can't remember how long it took me to do it. I don't know, quarter of an hour, 20 minutes or something like that. Yesterday. So I'm just having another look again. So if we looked, try and get a line on that. Trying to find the middle of the frame, which is about there. It's pretty much dead on. So there is offset going that way, which means that the hub is not, because of the brake plate, it shoves the hub sideways slightly. So it's not, the rim's not central to the hub. So you've got to get the rim central with the forks and with the frame. So it's got to go a bit more like that. The rear wheel is even more so because of the sprocket and the drum. And the rear of the frame actually is biased out towards the left. So there's quite a large offset on that. But I think that's as good as we're going to get it. Just have one last tweak. I'm just going, as I say, I've already done these up. I'm just going by feel, see how tight they are. That could be a wee bit. That's tight. Gone a wee bit. I'm trying to get them all the same. I could go a bit further. Try and get them all the same torque, as it were. just go by the way it feels like. That one's tight. It's quite tricky, you need enough, but you kind of, it must be enough but not too much, because you can get quite a lot of force. And if you're not careful, you can like get cracks in the rim or something like that, because it's really too tight. Yeah, it's about the same. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. No, it doesn't fit. I'm using the wrong end. Right. Two different sizes. I've got a bit of masking tape on this to tell me which end it is. I still can't get the right end. Yeah, okay. Yeah. Okay. And this spoke is just a wee bit proud. I'm going to have to file that off or something, but that's the only one really. Right, let's have another go. Again, that's that. It's rubbing there, but it's that seam again. But the actual again, if I screw assuming, of course, that the edge of the rim is accurate, if you see what I mean. It's really the tyre bead that's more important. Again, what about up and down? Again, I'll squint down the top of it. The trouble is, if you keep fiddling with it, you'll just make it worse again. It's only that one bit that's touching, which of course is the rim, because it's bulging out slightly. I don't think it's going to get much better than that, to be honest. So we try and try and line it up with the frame, and it's which is about there, and it's bang on. Those nipples are bang in the middle of that down tube. So there you go. So that can come out later on, have a tyre put on it, hopefully. So okay, and that works. So that's that, we hope. So here we are again. It's a rear wheel this time, on the cheap nasty truing stand, which I had to modify to make it work better, but it'll do for the moment. This isn't far out, to be honest. I just put it together and it's like, it's only got to run out of like 3mm or something. So anyway, start from the beginning. We'll tension them up, try and get them the same. Try and get the same sort of tightness. I'm just going by feel, literally just how much pressure on the spanner. And there's tools you can get for measuring the tension of the spokes and that, but I mean, I don't know, You mustn't forget that when this goes on the frame, we've got to, again, there's an offset, which I've tried to introduce by using blocks of wood of the right thickness to get the off. This is to say it's the distance between the rim and the drum. I can't remember off it. 28mm, I think it is. I can't remember exactly. Something like that. But again, I shall end up putting it in the frame and see where it actually is relative to the frame center tube. Right. Then you come back to the beginning. So I had a lot of bother with this one. This is the second rim. The first rim didn't fit properly. I tried for days and days on end trying to get it right. It wouldn't go together properly. The dimples are all at the wrong angle. This, that and the other, and I tried for at least a couple of weeks trying to do it on and off. Maybe I got the rim back to front, maybe I got it's the wrong rim, try the other one. No. So I ended up getting another rim from a different company and it fitted first time. 15-20 minutes to put it together, as long as it takes to screw the nipples onto the spokes. Finished, done. So obviously the first rim is made wrong. But when I emailed him saying I can't do it because it doesn't seem to be made right, and he said maybe you're doing it wrong, maybe you should go to a professional wheel builder. No, he just made it wrong, simple as that. It don't fit. I won't say who it is, but they're on the eBay. I'm trying to concentrate on Right, so let's go around again. So that's that much. Same. It'd be a bit loose, that one. Same, right. Right. Well, that's quite extraordinary. That is. Again, there's a ripple. I don't know if you can see it. There. There. And it's where it's welded. Again, it's where, because it's a long strip with the ends welded together, and where the ends are welded together, you get a bit of a wibble there. It's right there. So this is the thing. It's awkward. You're trying to. Do you know what? That's nearly bang on. Extraordinary. Whoop. Rub in there. Right. What's it like in and out? There. So if we can do all them up a bit. Again. At the moment it's about 2mm. Of course, that's assuming that the rim is true. Right, what's it like this way? I don't know if it's worth bothering, because it's so... There. It's literally 1mm. So, we do these ones up. Keep getting the wrong end of the spanner. Forgot which way it goes. That way. Right, hang on. Pin it there. And there's a wee bit loose, that one. And that one. So I turned the wrong ones, I think. Then we need the other side, so apart from this wibble which is caused by the weld, the seam, which is always confusing, and this keeps sliding. Hang on. Oh, that still use the wheel bearings. Now, wrong end again. You have to remember to undo the opposite side a bit. Still a bit. There's quite a gap. That's where the seam is. That's quite a gap, but it's you can't do anything about it because it's. We can try. Right, well, apart from that little wibble, it's about 1 millimetre. Now then, it gets to a stage where you can't really see what's going on unless you spin it fast, because if you spin it slowly you can't see the change. Right, it's a bit low there, a bit proud there, low again. Right, Right, so there. It's a bit this way. Wrong end again. That was quite loose. Sideways, it's like a millimetre. Ignoring the little, which is there, the little wobble which is there, which is because of the seam. It's amazing, you can't see it until you start doing this. There. It's there. But if you look at it, you can't see anything. But when it goes past the pointer, it's clear as day. But ignoring that, try and roll it up again. That, whoops, maybe not quite. That is pretty damn on a millimetre, consistently a millimetre or so, give or take half. And up and down, which is that way, you can't get it perfectly round, but it's, again, it's because of this, there, because of the seam there, you get a bit of a wobble that way as well, so it's misleading. You think it's out, but it's not. But nevertheless, that is certainly within 2 millimeters. It's not really going to get any better than that, because there's, where the way the rim was made, there's it's not consistently all the same all the way around. So you get all these little wibbly bits. So that's as good as it's going to get, I think. Now just one last tweak, but this finally needs to be put on the frame and try and get it central in the frame. So I'm not going to do it up like properly tight yet. But we'll just do, so we'll just go around and try and get them the same. That's okay. Alright, yeah. I could do with a bit more. Okay, yeah. Alright. I could do with a bit, that one and that one. Nearly there. Just feeling like how much pressure to put on the spanner. Try and keep it the same. Oh, it's a bit loose, that one. Right. Yeah. Right, one last check. Yeah, that hasn't changed. This sideways. I say apart from the wobble where the seam is. Try and look at it that way. And again, you don't know whether it's just because of the outside is a bit uneven or what, but that is maximum is a millimetre, like other side of a millimetre. I'm squinting along the top onto something I'm using reference in the background. It's a pattern on the curtain actually. I mean the stand keeps wobbling, so I can't. Yeah, the bead, where the bead goes is pretty damn good. This bit wobbles a bit, but in that bit doesn't seem to move, doesn't seem to change at all. So there you go. It's got a bit of a am I going to have to put a weight on that, do you think? Because it's not the wheel bearings, it's this spindle which is on these little. So that is quite sensitive. Obviously, on the bearings, it's just. You know, so there you are. So I think we can say that's a goer. We'll tighten it up better when we put it on in the frame, but for now, that can stay as it is. So there you go.